Hi everyone, welcome to the venue at Railside. I'm Stephanie Hushak, the owner and director, and I'm here with our events manager, Jessica Kenyon. So exciting.
Hello.
We're opening this year.
Yes, finally. It's about time.
I know, you have been so patient. We bought the building in May of 2023, and you and I connected that year. In the fall, we met up.
Yep.
So yeah, it's been a while, but we've kind of just been meeting and we've been getting things ready as the renovation has been going on and just planning the business side of things.
Yeah, definitely going to be
very key.
Very prepared.
Yeah.
Very prepared.
So people ask a lot, how did you guys get together? So do you want to kind of tell them that? Because you kind of just fell into my lap almost.
Yeah. Yep. Well, I mean, being part of Grand Island and from Grand Island, you see this beautiful venue all the time, and what's going to happen with it. And, you know, as a wedding planner, you have a dream and an idea, and you took the idea, and I mean, you had this vision, and I was like, I want to be a part of it. And that's when I reached out to you and was like, I just want to be involved somehow, anyhow. And we made it happen, and now we're ready to open and serve couples and guests and the community.
I wasn't in anything wedding. I mean, I was in news for 12 years, and then I kind of closed that chapter. But this had always been a goal. Having a venue had always been a goal of mine ever since I planned my wedding, because the venue search was the biggest part when planning. I mean, that was the most important part, is like where I was going to get married. And I'm not from here, so my husband and I got married in Cleveland, Ohio, at the Cleveland Botanical Garden. But what I loved about that venue specifically was we had our ceremony in one location and our cocktail hour in another, and then our reception in another. And so there were all these different spaces that our guests were able to be in. And it was kind of like they went from one to the next, and it was kind of like, wow, we're like in a different space. I just thought that was so cool. And so this building offers that.
Yep.
There's so many different spaces, which I think is a draw.
Yeah. And it's not going to be all designed the same either. You have a vision for each floor of the building, and so guests are going to be able to experience something different on every level.
Yeah. I want to touch on a little bit about Hope Collective, because we have partnered with you guys. And you want to tell people, in case they're not familiar with what Hope Collective is, just a little bit.
Yeah, of course. So Hope Collective is a wedding planning and rental company, and we're based out of Grand Island. We travel everywhere, but we're partnering and collaborating with the venue at Railside. And so we're going to be the events manager. So every event, wedding or business party, Christmas party, birthday party, gets an events manager. So someone to help coordinate the event and set up the venue for them. And included in that, you know, we have a wide range of rentals in our inventory that you can select from, and having your event at the venue at Railside, you get a discount on those services through us. But like I said, wedding planning, so partial planning, full service, day of coordination. You get that day of coordination included with the venue at Railside, so you don't have to go out and look for someone else to come in. You have someone that's part of the venue that works for the venue, but also works for you. So we're excited to be a part of it.
Yeah, I'm so excited. You touched on it. Weddings, all events get an events manager, and that's the thing. We're not just weddings. You can rent out. So weddings get the entire venue essentially when you're renting, but private parties, corporate events, you can rent out the floor that we're on right now, the top floor where the ballroom is. So we have flexible pricing and spaces. So depending on what type of event you're hosting or the size of it, we're just really, this building's really flexible. Like,
yeah,
it's just so
a lot
nice.
of people don't know that there's multiple stories, you know, 3 levels that all are going to be different and have something part of it. So that's something exciting when we're talking about the space to people. They're like, what? There's 3 different floors? And so, yeah, you don't have to be in one area.
And what's the best way to see all the floors is to come see the building yourself, because we are doing tours.
Yes.
And we've had several people come through already, which is so exciting, because it may not look like a ton's been done, but the renovation is ongoing. We're bringing people in, and there has been a lot that has gotten done. I mean, you've kind of been in here periodically, so you've seen the changes, but yeah, I think there's a long ways to go, but we are set to open in October, and we're still on track. So book a tour. and come see
Well,
it.
and you do a really great job of like sharing your vision with the people that come through so they can kind of see and envision what they can expect. And you do a really good job at doing that.
Oh, well, thank you. I think, and then our renderings too are on our website. So those kind of show our vision. All right, let's give a renovation update. Man, this has been in the works for a long time. We did have a little bit of a delay this past summer, but that's okay. I mean, a big project like this, you know, we didn't really have like a timeline that we had to have it done, right? Like we were just, so now with the October deadline, we're good to go. Man, we got all the windows out. So those were all bricked up. Those have come out and we're getting ready for new windows to get in. The plumbing is all these pipes. I mean, just the work that's been done. There's so many pipes. It's such intricate work. I mean, I guess I didn't realize like how much was involved in plumbing. And this building was gutted. Like it had nothing in it for decades.
Right.
So all of the plumbing, the HVAC, electricity has to go in. And that's a big chunk of the process. Over the summer, they did all the tuck pointing on the brick on the exterior. And so that was big because there were just some parts that needed touched up and fixed. And so then we'll clean up the white part on the outside, that white tile, get that looking really nice. So the exterior will look really nice. And then once we get all the new windows in.
Oh, it's going to be
It's gonna
incredible.
be
All
nice,
of that
yeah.
natural light coming in. It's going to be amazing. Photographers are going to love it.
I hope so. What else for the renovation? We've got all our product picked out. So as soon as we get that in, the rooms are going to start to take shape. I'm really excited about that. And we'll kind of, in the future videos, take you through once we start getting all that in so people can kind of see the changes. But yeah, it's a process.
Yeah.
It's a big project, but we're excited because this is a beautiful building. And the people we've walked through, like you said, you've seen this building here in Grand Island. It started out as an Elks building, or an Elks Lodge. So it was built in 1918. And that's what it originally was. And then over the years, it was different things. And then most recently, just decades of storage. But it's got a lot of character. And that's what I really appreciate about this building.
Well, and you're still incorporating some of that stuff into the new venue.
Yeah,
So what are you incorporating?
So the stained glass is going. I think people know that now. We're going to find some good homes for it. Don't worry. We are repurposing some of it. So our plan is to turn, behind us, back where it's dark, that'll be the 11 o'clock lounge, or that's what we're going to brand it as. And that's a nod to the history of the building because the Elks do an 11 o'clock toast. And so the stained glass with the clock on it, it's set to 11 o'clock. That will be used, we plan to use it as a backdrop for the bar in there. And then we want to use the stained glass with the elk as a backdrop in the groom's room, put a little couch in front of it, and then kind of backlight it up in there. So I think that'll look pretty cool down there. And then we plan to kind of blow up old photos of the building, those old black and white photos, and hang those up and do like a portrait wall. So we don't want to kind of come in and it's the venue at Railside and just completely get rid of the history because there's so much history here.
Yes,
I mean,
yes.
We walked through with the Elks a while ago and they shared memories because they remember this building and being in this building and just the memories they have in here. So while new memories will be created, we don't want to completely just forget about all that history it has in here.
Yeah, and they've been sharing some photos with you that you've shared on social media too, on the Venue at Railside Facebook page.
It's been great. It's been a lot of fun, like just learning about this building. Over here, you can kind of still see the outline of where a fireplace was, which is so cool because it was like a little sitting area, I think, that you can see in one of the photos. So yeah, it's just been really cool to see. And all the old tile in here, just kind of what it used to be, right?
And during the renovation, some of the contractors have found some stuff as well.
Yeah,
So.
our absent brothers sign, that was a big deal to the Elks, and they found those signs. So yeah, that was really cool. Just the character it has, and I love that you appreciate the building.
Oh yeah,
as well. I mean, you kind of saw what it had to offer, and so that was really cool too.
Yep.
So why book this building? Why would you book this building?
Well, it's nothing like anything Grand Island has. It's versatile, it's intimate, it's not a large venue space for a huge wedding. So it keeps your ceremony intimate and your reception intimate for your family and friends, and it's just that closeness. But it's going to be gorgeous. The history of it, we've talked a lot about that. But like I said, just how versatile it is and the different spaces that it offers. You can have something different for the ceremony, the cocktail hour, your reception. And you get so much with it. You get an events planner, a day of coordinator. We have the bar service, and we just have a lot of options that are included.
Yeah, which brings me to the website. We put everything on our website. All our information is there, our prices, the spaces, our capacity. I wanted to make it easy for you. I don't want to waste your time. You don't want to waste our time. So it's just all out there. Obviously, if you have additional questions, we're here. But as a bride, when I was planning my wedding, the venues I looked at had it all right there for me. So when I'm doing my research, I didn't have to call or email them just to say, how many people can you hold, or what's your price, just to see if it was in our budget.
Right.
So we really want to make it easy on you. And no matter what type of event you're hosting, it's all on there so that you can just kind of know right off the bat what we offer, and make it easy on you. So our renderings are on there, and like you said, people can kind of take those renderings, and when they come through, visualize what these spaces are going to look like.
Talking about the different spaces, so I really want to touch on just quickly the terrace, because there's I don't think there's any in Grand Island where there's a terrace where you can go outside and you can enjoy a drink or the scenery. Yeah. So I mean, we have the beautiful courthouse, right off the terrace. So that's talk a little bit just about the terrace.
Yeah, the terrace. It's not rooftop level, but when you're out there, it definitely has that feel. So you'll be able to, guests can step out there. You can set up some cocktail tables out there, and then we're going to have some festoon lights when it gets dark. So yeah, it's going to be a very cool feeling out there. Yes. And that is on the top level. So that is the level with, if you rent the ballroom, you get the terrace too. Or obviously if you're having a wedding, you get the whole building. But yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, just that backdrops, having a drink out there and just nice weather. And
we've had some people come through and they're like, we just want to have a glass of wine on that terrace. Like, are you guys going to do wine nights or something like that? And we've talked about some events that we want to have down the road. And that is in the works to do some events so that you can have a drink on the terrace. And
yeah, we've really been brainstorming some creative ways to not only be open for weddings and corporate events and things like that on the weekend, but how can we get Grand Island and the surrounding communities to come and enjoy this space during the week even. Yeah. So, it doesn't have to be a booked party or a booked event to be here. What are ways that we can share this space with the community? Yeah,
we've got a lot of ideas. I'm so excited because you and I have been meeting, we've been brainstorming, so I'm kind of ready, just like, let's get it open. Yes. It's so exciting. Okay, so if somebody wants to book the venue, where do they start? So they go to our website, check it out, get the information, contact us, set up a tour, come see it.
Definitely see it.
Yeah,
you want to come in here and walk through the space.
Because pictures and video can only show so much, but I feel like when you get in here, it just feels so much more grand, especially with the arched hallway. Like I love that hallway. Like it's so cool. And so we have some really cool lights picked out for it. It's going to be great for photos. Love that space. Come see it for yourself. Set up the tour. You'll book with me, and I'll be the one kind of giving the tours. Except you may have to give some tours because
oh yeah,
I did not eat too many cookies over the holidays. I'm pregnant. I'm due with a baby in April. You may be on tour duty for a little bit when I have the baby. But the tour would be with me. You'll book with me, and then I hand it off to you. Talk a little bit about what kind of that process looks like then.
Yeah. So after you're booked with Stephanie, like she said, she hands it over to us, and we really take everything from there, communicating vendors and time frames, and we create a day of timeline, a very detailed day of timeline for you so you don't have to, and we make sure that flows through the day. We work with you on additional services, rentals that you may need, the bar service that will be provided by Hope Collective. So bar service will be included. And then we give recommendations on outside vendors. So caterers, photographers, DJs, any other additional vendors that you might need. And we just work with you through the whole process. So it's not like you get booked and then you don't hear from us until a week before your wedding. We work with you really through the whole planning process. Yeah. So we make sure you're informed and you have options, and that you're kind of not just left to plan by yourself. We still help you through that process.
Because wedding planning is a lot. Like I did it. We had an events manager at our venue, and she was great. But yeah, I mean, I took it upon myself to kind of get all those vendors. Like I was just doing all the research. So it's nice to have you, and like if they need a recommendation.
Of course, and there is a lot of times there's an events coordinator and then there's a wedding coordinator, and they're completely different. But at the venue at Railside, it's one and the same. So we work for the venue, but we also work for you. So we're not just looking out for the best interests of the venue, we're looking out for the best interests of the clients and those who book for us as well. So yeah, it's really great that you get, both of us together for your event.
Yeah, and I need to say, and I tell people when they're coming through and I'm talking about our events manager, Jessica, and obviously they don't know you yet, but just the passion that you have for what you do. Like I can just tell that you love planning and helping people and really making their day something special. And at the end of the day, the venue, like that's what we're trying to provide, is just this amazing space that's going to make your event memorable. Your guests are going to be talking about this place when they leave and just how great of a time they had. But you make sure like their day is special.
Right.
And you go out of your way to do things to make that day perfect.
I think
you
that,
really do.
Yeah, I think that, it is so special to myself and my assistants to like really give the client everything that they want. And I think it's just having your day at the venue is just going to take it up one step, because I'm so passionate about this venue. So like this venue was like my dream too, to be a part of a venue in this space. So I think that having events here is really just going to take it up a notch for us, because we love the space so much. So it's really going to bring everything together for our clients.
That reminds me when I did get your message when you first reached out, and it was funny because you said this was your dream, and I'm like, oh my gosh, did I take her dream? Did I crush her dreams? And it was really funny, but yeah, immediately, my husband Nate and I were like, okay, how can we work with Jessica? I looked you up and I could just tell okay, this could be a really good opportunity for both of us. And it just kind of blossomed from there, which has just been a really great thing. And I'm just so excited for the future.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Really
just
excited.
Just been dreaming and planning, and even before the venue opens, we're hoping to invite the community to come check it out, do some styled shoots, but just like an open house, walk through the venue, have a drink, and have maybe some additional vendors come in to promote their services, but really just open up the venue so the community can see it before, they have an actual booked event.
Yeah. And the community has been, the following that we've had with just this renovation has been amazing. And the support that we've had from the city of Grand Island, just people reaching out, thanking us for doing something with the building. And it makes us feel great, because we really just want to do something with this. This was a goal of mine, but just to feel that appreciation has been so great. And just Grand Island and the surrounding communities have been so supportive.
We need this.
And loving this.
Yeah.
And that's what we heard before because my husband was not going to make this investment without, okay, is it worth it? He thought it out. He's got spreadsheets. He was not going to make this investment if we didn't think it was going to be worth it. But just to hear that from you and from all these other people, it's been amazing, really.
Yeah.
So, okay. Do you want to add anything else?
I think we covered it. I'm just excited to get people in here.
Yeah.
Book your tour to see the space. And
that's kind of why we did this, so that you can get to know us. So you can put, a face to the venue, who you're going to be working with. We just really wanted you to get to know us and know what the venue has to offer. So the easiest way to follow along with the renovation, follow our Facebook page, the Venue at Railside Facebook page, and the Venue at Railside on Instagram. As things get done, I post on there. So sometimes I'll post on stories, or it'll be a post on the timeline. But yeah, follow along. Things are rolling, so there's going to be a lot more getting posted and to keep up with. So yeah, thanks for joining us.